Good day, fellow scapers. My name's Deck, but please call me Hobo, and welcome back to my channel. So as I dive deeper into the content that Runescape has to offer to obtain that elusive Master Max cape, I am starting to have some massive regrets. You see, as I take on the challenge to do some of the more banal, monotonous tasks associated with skilling, I'm finding myself coming up short in a multitude of ways, as a direct result of not engaging with other content, which means less XP, less rewards, and a whole lot more boring. So I thought I would share with some of you some of the pitfalls that I've absolutely fallen prey to, so hopefully you don't regret life like Hobo. Now, my first mistake is not doing dailies. Now, I've had my account for more than 5 years. Dailies I have started to do religiously are mining sandstone, farm runs using the 3 free Wicked Hoods teleports to the Soul Altar, and of course, more farm runs. Now, I haven't been doing this for the last 5 years, and of course, this is all free XP that I could have been doing whilst earning much more GP in the last 5 years, and it would have made me an absolutely boatload of money. Just to give you a snapshot, so for having an account that's older than 5 years old, my current level in runecrafting is 100. My current level in mining is 107, and my current level in farming is 109. This would have been much, much further along by now if I'd invested the 5 minutes it takes to complete each one. Take, for example, crafting soul runes. Now, let me take you back to 2022, when I was all about the magic meta. I was taking on Kero Pack hard mode every single day, farming the FSOA pieces like a complete madman. At its peak, the soul rune was worth 6,000 GP. Now, I can craft approximately 600 soul runes per day without, too many boosts and things like this. And this amounts to about 3.6 million GP a day for, let's say, 10 minutes worth of work. Now, if you extrapolate that over 2 years, and let's say I log in every day, that's worth more than 2.7 billion GP. No wonder I feel so goddamn poor. To add to insult to injury, I've also been much further along to my cape as well, because I absolutely hate runecrafting. The same goes for mining red sandstone. I have recently obtained the Blessed Flask, and yes, whilst it's very much a niche item for PvM, it's also something that takes a very long time to obtain. Aside from this, sandstone can be crafted and then sold during double XP weekends for potion crafters, and that is a lot of money that can be made during peak times. If you were to just look at Uglog Red Sandstone with no boosts, you can make 50 per day. And if you craft them firstly, it's free XP. Now, a potion flask is currently worth 17k. If you are only to make 50 a day with no boosts, which I've been able to do for approximately 4 years, and we work out the GP that I've missed, that's close to 1 billion GP. I could have literally paid for about 3 years worth of membership or premier membership with these 2 dailies alone. And let's be honest, when you need any of these items, you're probably going to instant buy them way above the market value too. Don't be like me, do your damn dailies. No, seriously, do your damn dailies. My next egregious error was not completing quest lines, and instead stopping when I had the quest reward I wanted. There is very little more irritating than when a new quest line comes out and you have to complete a series of half-done quest lines that all require that you go and retrieve the items that you've dropped, and you have to craft them all over again. Specifically, I'm looking at practically any quest line east of Varrock. Having to visit that monk in the temple with no teleports nearby to reclaim a quest item is quite possibly the most frustrating thing to have to do mid-quest. The next regret that I have is not completing various diaries around Gillinor. Now, as much as I've had the Elite Seers diaries completed for a number of years, I've seriously neglected other areas such as the Desert Diaries and the Mauritania diaries. As a result, when I wanted to complete them, I had to complete bulk amounts of diaries and in one go as well. And if anyone who's watching has completed the Desert Elites, they'll know that just taking on the Dominion Tower alone can take a couple of days if you're just rushing it. That being said, if you do need my updated guide on using necromancy at the Dominion Tower and you want to get some dread nips or some mines, I will leave a link in the description. It's really not that difficult anymore. Editing Hobo here. If this is your first time seeing me, this channel, and you think you like what you see, let YouTube know what your preferences are by liking and subscribing. I upload most weeks and stream most Fridays at 7 PM. Hopefully, I'll catch you here again and we can run and or escape from the real world together into one of my many, many misadventures. Now, the next mistake isn't so much skilling, but it's very much more PvM focused. It's one I think that we've probably all made at some point or another. So let me talk you through. You finish your hour doing your chosen boss. You walk away with some decent loot, some herbs, potions, maybe some bones. You rush to the Grand Exchange to cash in on that cash money, and insta-sell well below market value. All of the valuable items you have just worked so hard for down the pan. Firstly, you've sold for 20% below the market value, and secondly, you've sold outside of a DXP peak demand event. Now currently I'm saving all of my daily loots like herb run loots until a little before double XP when the demand is there and the value increases. This can turn a 100 mil sell into 120, 130 million sell, which absolutely adds up over time. Do not do this. It can literally be the difference between having a free bond or not. Sell smart, people. The next thing to absolutely not do. So before, when I would train Slayer, I would get bored when I got a task I didn't like, and then I would leave that task there. Now, then when I got a Slayer task as my daily challenge, I would then use my challenge token to skip the task. But when you're not going to be training Slayer for a little while, don't leave it on a rubbish task. Leave it on something super easy, like Dark Beasts, or at least use your mask to force an assignment that you find easy. This is so that when you get a daily mission of Slayer, you can use your Slayer cape to teleport to Kuradal, kill 10 of them really easy, and then get a tidy amount of experience to boot. A Slayer mission at the moment takes me less than 2 minutes because I leave it on trash mobs within close proximity to a teleport location. Speaking of challenges, I have only recently found out that you can toggle off skills that you've already achieved 99 in. Now, for me, at the moment, I prefer to focus on a few select skills to get to level 120. Firstly, it saves your presets, and it also means that I'm actually seeing growth on a weekly basis. So what I've done, I've personally selected gatherer skills that I will do daily, or at least I'm focusing on weekly. For me, Herblore is a wasted skill, as I've already got 120 in this. The same goes for archaeology, as well as necromancy. If you want to train a skill, make sure that you've deselected the other skills. To do this, all you have to do is go to Berthorpe and speak to Challenge Mistress Farah. She's found just southwest of the Berthorpe Lodestone. Mistake number 7. Don't be afraid to take on a new challenge. For years, I was absolutely terrified of taking on Kel'Thuzad. I was afraid of Jad, and I was even a little bit scared of Harakan. Don't get me wrong, I've killed Zamorak, I'd killed Kerapak on hard mode, and I'd even soloed the Ambassador a number of times with quite a lot of ease. So it wasn't a skill issue. It was simply something that I hadn't done before, and the waves to me seemed slightly complicated. Now, fast forward to 2024, I've completed over 100 hard mode Zuk kills with an approximately 50-50 balance across normal and hard mode. Don't be afraid of bossing. It gets better and it gets easier. Mistake number 8. Don't use tank armor as a crutch. So when I took on Kerapak back in 2022, I used Crit Bloom religiously for every single encounter. I thought I had found my perfect setup using the FSOA and Crit Bloom with Animate Dead. The problem with this is that I was actually holding myself back. When I took the step to invest in DPS armor, I actually found the battles easier after a little while. This is because of the age-old adage being absolutely true. The best defense is a great offense. Now, if you found any of these tips helpful, feel free to like and subscribe to the channel because this video has absolutely reached its conclusion. So thank you so much for sticking around, and hopefully I'll catch you in my next RuneScape misadventure. Happy scaping.